system, Bill Gates and the big foundations he represents have been at the heart of this entire dehumanization operation. And so it's with very heavy heart that I
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On second down, it's Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Partner, I don't care how long he plays. Anytime there's a fumble involving Tom Brady.
You think the Raiders are involved?
You think the Raiders are involved, you think it's snowing, and immediately you hear the words, tuck rule. And now the tuck rule doesn't exist anymore, but that always comes back up with Tom Brady, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, even here, even now. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On second down, here's Barkley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
They'll look to throw here on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
To throw, and that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Corey Coleman there to make the grab, and the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play. But also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, Golden Tate. It's taken to the 26. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And Tate's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A 1st down carry for Barkley, and he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's a give to Barkley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A handoff to Barkley. He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there. And now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality. And pound the rock.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
It's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
A try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and they take the lead here at 7-6. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Fights him off. A second nice move. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
But whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. His opening drive looked good for a while there last time out, was moving the ball down the field, but then the interception, and they ran it back to the house.
Let's face it, it's a game of human beings, isn't it? Mistakes will happen, and as you noted, he was playing so well on this drive. I don't know if there was a miscommunication between him and his intended receiver. Did they run the wrong route? Anything could have possibly gone wrong there. He'll just have to shake it off and keep firing.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
This is Lewis. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On play action, they'll throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And Barkley will try to punch it in, and he's going to ball his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in, and the Giants are in for 6. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Now the Giants will line up and go for 2.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Ah,
Right?
that's true. You've said that before. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Brady under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On play action, it's Brady. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 61 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 2. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
They begin with a run by Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 83 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Rosas now to add the PAT. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing on first down is Brady. And he finds Howard complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a close game here early on. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A give to Jones. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now Brady on the bootleg. He's got Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
On first down, Brady. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Gronk's first catch, good for a first down.
Well, there it is, partner. Brady to Gronk, their first connection of the game.
You think those two often in sync?
I don't think there's any question about it. And look, we know Gronk has a whole lot of fun, but he's deadly serious about his football, as is Tom Brady. Two great competitors, two fantastic players.
Brady's got his guys first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. The give is to Jones. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Godwin, it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Brady's got his guys first and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Brady going to throw. And incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Bucs on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Brady to throw. This is caught. Gronkowski. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Brady. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 2. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Now, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily, when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it?
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He's up to 70 yards now in this first half receiving as he's got a first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to go for a big, and that's caught inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for it all. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And a short gain here down to the 22. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll drop the throw. Caught right side, Tate. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Golden Tate, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Giants are in for 6.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got...
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go!
On the run, it's Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He dumps it off to Barkley. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. The Giants on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Oh, the Bucs swarm in and they block it. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game, dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
He'll look to throw. He finds Coleman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate.
Still
The
first
ball's
down.
got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll look to throw again. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Tate. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards. Back to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Golden Tate with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Here's Tate to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Giants on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, 47 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And a catch right side by Evans. And a nice gain of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Brady now, 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Jones. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll go again to Jones. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. This from 54 yards away. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And now running right through it. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows his offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Ndamukong Suh with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
All right, here we go.
This is Barkley. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
second
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Set. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And that is incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Wait, 20.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On play action, now Brady. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
20!
Now Jones, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, I don't even have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Wait 20! Wait 20! Wait 10!
Now Brady. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point attempt to follow here. The extra point splits the uprights, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone for
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Shepard. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. throw left side, complete to Ingram. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Back to throw. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Golden Tate, 31 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Brady, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This is Jones. Open space inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Brady. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Brady now on 3rd and goal. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Now Brady got to have this one. Now this is incomplete. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized, you know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run with Barkley, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd down and 12. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Lewis. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is TJ Logan to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. That throw by Brady incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Looking back to the air on 2nd down, it's Brady. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. He's got Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. Brady now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Brady now on first down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Again, it's Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Brady to throw again. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Point after here coming up. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And New York set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.